The National Association of Realtors is back in the headlines with yet another decision of what you can and can't do to market a client's home for sale. Now, this isn't as controversial as the Sitzer-Burnett case, which broke in August of 2024, but it's extremely important. If you don't know the details of this policy decision, you could face MLS fines or look out of touch to your clients. Both are things that I don't want for you. In this video, I'll break down everything you need to know about NAR's clear cooperation policy changes and how it'll impact your business. By the end of this video, you'll understand how you can turn this knowledge into an opportunity that will help you in the marketplace with your clients and your leads. I'm Lou Raven with REinvest Real Estate. Along with my partner Elise Palacios, we help agents go from production to legacy. And a big part of that is making sure that you stay sharp and informed on what's going on right now in the real estate industry. So let's get into everything you need to know about NAR's clear cooperation policy. Be sure you stick around until the end. I have a bonus that will help you turn this information into content, which will position you as an expert in your market. Let's start with a quick history lesson. Don't worry, I'll be brief. The clear cooperation policy has actually been around since 2020, but significant updates were made in March of 2025. Back in 2020, the clear cooperation policy came out, and it basically said that if you market a seller's property for sale in any way publicly, you have to put it into the MLS. So that meant not only if the property was marketed through the MLS and IDX feeds like Zillow and Redfin and all the other ones that are out there, but even if you did so much as put a sign in their yard, send a text to a fellow agent, or made an Instagram about the property, you had to put the property in the MLS. Now, the reason for this policy is pretty simple. The idea was that it would promote more cooperation and fairness among the real estate industry, which we can all agree is something that's pretty important. We wanted to make sure that there was a level playing field for both buyers and sellers, and that there were not as many pocket listings that would be transacted within the office. Now, to be fair, this policy puts some restrictions on sellers, and one could argue that the National Association of Real Estate has no business telling sellers what they can and can't do with their property. There are, in fact, some very legitimate reasons why you would want to market a property for sale off market. We'll get into those in a little bit. For now, we're just going to focus on the policy and what changed in 2025 and how you keep yourself out of MLS jail. Just this month, NAR released what they're calling multiple listing options for sellers, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Essentially, the seller has a menu of options that they can choose from when they want to market their home. A major win for sellers in terms of convenience and decision making. This new policy adds flexibility with something that they're calling a delayed marketing exempt listing. This essentially says that a property can be listed and marketed for sale publicly, but it does not have to be pushed out publicly through the IDX feed to sites such as Zillow and Realtor.com and Redfin and some of the other popular search portals that our clients are on. So an agent and their seller has the option of choosing this and deciding that they don't want to have their property syndicated out all over the world. The key to the delayed marketing exempt listing is that it must still be put in the MLS, it's just not being blasted out publicly for everybody to see yet. It's important to know that the MLS rules will be different from state to state and possibly even county to county if you're in some screwy states that have different rules. So you'll want to make sure that you know what your local rules are for when you have to put a listing into the MLS if you intend to market it publicly, but not publicly on these IDX fed websites. So basically what that means is it's time once again to start reading those emails from your board, which many of us may have been in the habit of deleting for the last several months. Once again, there are changes that we need to know and be able to communicate to our clients, and we have to be able to stay compliant with our local MLS rules, so make sure that you pay attention to those emails. So what does this mean for a real estate agent? First off, I want to be completely clear with you that this is a seller-driven decision. It's our responsibility as listing agents to go over this option with clients when we sit down with them to sign their listing. You'll want to review the pros and cons of keeping their home out of the IDX feed and doing I'll call it a semi-public listing. And those pros and cons are important to understand, so make sure you stick around. I'll go over them in just a second. Second, you want to be ultra clear on what your MLS's guidelines are. If you market a property publicly in any way without it being in the MLS, you could face hefty fines or disciplinary action. No bueno. Finally, it is an opportunity for you to educate your clients to position yourself as a market expert. And I talk about this all the time in my videos. We are real estate professionals. We're not just realtors or real estate agents. It's important that you're known as that, and this is a great way to stand out in a sea of thousands of other real estate agents in your market. So what are some of the pros and cons of listing your property for sale off market? Why would a seller want to do that? In some ways, it could allow more time to prep the listing and get photos ready and in line. It could also help you generate more buzz about the property. The main reason why I've seen homes sell off market is because the seller prefers privacy in some cases, or maybe there's something that's unique that's going on with them, whereas they don't want to have a ton of people come through their house. Somebody may prefer privacy if they're ultra wealthy or they're famous, and they don't want to have it known that their property is out there publicly for sale. Also, some people feel it's just nobody else's business for the neighbors, friends, and family members to know that they're moving. Think about the possible security risks that could involve for certain people who are in certain situations. I've bought multiple homes that were hoarder situations where things got a little bit out of hand and people frankly become really embarrassed by the state of their home, and they don't want that out there publicly for everybody to see. You may be surprised by some of the hoarder situations that I've seen that correspond with people that you otherwise wouldn't think live in that particular type of way. So then what are some of the cons of a delayed public listing? Well, the most obvious is that you won't get as much exposure as you would if the property is pushed out through IDX feeds to Zillow, Realtor.com, and Redfin, and all those other sources. No matter how you feel about some of those big platforms, let's be honest, they are where most of our consumers are viewing properties. So if we keep properties off of those platforms, then we risk not getting as much exposure, which could lead to a longer sale time and a lower sale price than if we just pushed it out everywhere to begin with. Another con to this strategy is that it's more complex and it does come with some more risk if you mess up paperwork. And I guess another one is that it could be perceived as secretive or shady within the industry. I personally wouldn't be as worried about that as long as I'm compliant with all local laws and MLS rules, but it's something that I should mention. So in some cases, flexibility is great, and in others, it could hurt your client. Personally, I think it's great that NAR gave this option to sellers. They now have more decision-making ability and control about what's happening with their own house, and to me, that just makes a lot of sense. You'll want to make sure that you're extremely informed and that you document everything very well. Now, I promise that if you hang around till the end of the video, I'll give you a bonus, and here it is. Once you understand this policy change completely, talk about it publicly, everywhere in your own words. Make posts on LinkedIn and make reels on Instagram. Make YouTube videos. Show the world that you're an expert. Spoiler alert, that's what I'm doing right now. It's important that you're seen as a real estate professional, not just a real estate agent. You need to step out among the crowd, whether you're a trainer and coach like me or somebody who's trying to grow the real estate sales business. Again, I'm Lou Raven with REinvest Real Estate. Be sure to check us out on Skool.com. We have a great free community that's full of people who are willing to help agents free of charge. We also have some awesome courses in there. Many of them are free and they're designed to grow your business. If this content was helpful for you, be sure to like and subscribe and follow our channel for more updates. See you next week.